Good evening, people. I'm going by people live with Mr. Shawn James and Frank Nitty. Make sure he's ready to come on because I actually made a error here, but nonetheless, let me bring him on. What's going on, man?
How are you, Bernard?
I'm doing good. Waiting the other guy to get in. Cause
No,
y'all got the same problem on both coasts. So California, New York, no matter what side you're on, everybody got a
yeah,
problem, right?
yeah, we got far left nut jobs who are just what they really are is they're scared of accountability for their failed policies, so they're using the COVID as a crutch.
Well, I've been realizing that they are freaking out a little bit lately. De Blasio about to leave office, he freaking out. What's going on, man? What's up with this?
Well, De Blasio is trying to virtue signal so he can have this delusional idea that he's going to be able to run for governor, but he can't run for governor because he's got approval ratings lower than Osama bin Laden. But he has this idea that he's going to be able to run for governor, even with his record of turning New York City into a hellhole filled with crime and violence. He still thinks he's got a shot.
I'll get to all that in a minute because I was reading a lot of things on this thing. It's really been kind of like a little hex. We're gonna break a lot of this stuff down. What's going on, Frank? What's going on?
What's going on, gentlemen? What's up? What's up, y'all?
What's up? What's going on?
Chilling.
Look like y'all got the same problem going on. It's on the left coast. It's on the left coast and well, both of them left coast to me. If you ask me, both of them complete nut jobs. I got a nut job on the right, and I got a nut job on the left. But I dare gonna tell you one thing. On that side of the earth, I got in California, I got one nut job, and then in New York, I know I'm dealing with some crazy nuts. Anytime I see somebody talking about some daggone thing where they actually talking about imprisoning if the governor consider you to be a public health crisis, you ain't got a serious problem. What the hell is going on? But Shawn, go ahead and introduce yourself, brother. I know I've been so looking at this stuff lately. I said these people are crazy. And then they're gonna get away with this.
Well, I am Shawn James. I am the author of over 75 books, and I write everything from Black fantasy to men's issues nonfiction. And you can find many of my titles on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. And you can check out my daily comment on my YouTube channel, Shawn James.
Okay, wait, yeah, go ahead, Frank.
What's going on, y'all? Frank Nitty, you know what I'm saying? Voice of reasoning, intellectual, just on these airwave, man, to try to spark some change, man, to try to, waking people up, man, open the minds of people.
Let me ask you a question. You said voice of reasoning, right? You're in California, Gavin Newsom, right? Gavin Newsom don't got a lot of reason right now, does he? I mean, this thing I just seeing about what is it, abortion ban? What is going on? What's up? He wants to make it easier for private gun owners. For to be able to sue a private business over a firearm. Explain that to me. You think that's kind of crazy, right?
I think that's crazy. I think that's they going back on the Second Amendment. They trying to attack on the Second Amendment again. I remember Biden or somebody having something similar than this. They was talking about where they could sue the actual gun owner or something like that, could sue the manufacturer. So it's just similar, man. These people take similar policies, man, and they smack them on something else, or they'll take a policy somebody else implemented or whatever and use it. Somebody of the same party, they'll use their little talking point and go on and try to make a law or bill about it. I mean, it's they're going at the Second Amendment slowly and surely too, man. First, second, I mean, you name it, man. The censorship is up, and then they go into the second, with the even these so-called, I don't want to say too much, but these shootings or whatever, even these, I think a lot of these spark that whole, go after the Second Amendment and gun reform and gun control. So we got to really watch out where a lot of this is coming from and see the agenda.
The irony is for me is that these same people like your Gavin Newsom wanted to talk about gun control, but they don't really look at the 1990s when we had the assault weapons ban in place and mass shootings went through the roof. They don't want to talk about that talking point to me. And I found that to be one of the most comical things about Gavin Newsom talking about going after guns, because you don't want to talk about how the assault weapons ban was a colossal failure, and you don't want to deal with the fact that you can't really stop anything with these guns because we have a Second Amendment, and he's doing this to be tit for tat for Texas's abortion law. But abortion was not a constitutional right. The Second Amendment guarantees everybody a right to bear arms.
Yeah, and it's a state thing as well. That's another thing when the Texas thing is a state thing. So really, I don't know why but I get. Let me carry on with that. I know what he's got going on. I know Gavin, but let me ask you a question. The Second Amendment says that you have the right to bear arms and protect yourself from a tyrannical government, right? So, Shawn, I'm asking you. You call the leftists beta males, but to me, they're becoming a pack of tyrants. What do you think?
Well, beta males basically are tyrannical because they fear losing control. Now, your beta male, whenever he feels threatened about losing his power base and losing control over things, that's when he starts to become tyrannical because he fears losing control over what he has. And your Democrats, they really fear losing control over the country because they know that the economy is bad. They know that gas prices are high, and they know that the chances of them getting voted out are extremely high. So what they want to do is try to cement their power, but their power base is eroding as we speak, and that's why they're acting all irrational and completely out of control because they know that they have lost the favor with the public, and that's why they need these crutches to carry them from one place to the other. So they need to try to take away people's rights and power because they fear losing power because people know that they're failures and they don't want to go out being known as a failure. So they're hoping to keep the power so that people won't see them as the failures they truly are, but we all see them as the failures that they are.
I'm going to read something here that a friend of mine sent me yesterday. On January 5th, the legislative session begins in New York. Okay. Assembly Bill A8378 forced COVID shot mandates to attend school. Bill A2798 S75A forces all adult vaccine records into a database. Bill A729 S6495 forced COVID shots for college. Bill A2240 S45 forced flu shots to attend school and preschool daycare. Assembly Bill A8398 exemption for work in college. Sounds, typical, but let's go a little bit further. Bill A3091 S3041 eliminates parents' consent to shots when a child reaches 14 years of age. That sounds like I don't have a right on my child anymore. Who are you to tell me that, right? That's kind of weird, right? Now, Bill A822 S931 eliminates parents' right to consent to STD shots for any child of age. Now, this is the big one. Assembly Bill A416 allows the governor to imprison anyone without trial she considers a threat to public health. And there's a assembly member named Patrick Burke, who is a Democrat, that actually has an upcoming bill to eliminate unvaccinated people's access to health insurance. Now, all that is some crazy stuff I just read right there, right?
That is.
If any of that passed, that is crazy,
stuff.
Right? Huh? Say it again?
That is some Arkham certified stuff.
Well, these are bills they are proposing, but I know these people will try that. And another thing, and I'm going to let Frank pivot off me on this one. But you also got a problem in New York now, Shawn. You're right there, and right there was what's going on. You got they just allowed non-citizens to vote in local elections if you've been in the state of New York for 30 days. Right. So they had 4.9 registered voters in New York, and only, I think, 1.4 million people voted in last month's election, right? So you add 800,000 people who are non-citizens, that's 1/5 of people you're trying to make up. You can be a DACA recipient, you could be somebody who's got a green card or visa or something, right? Only thing you can't vote in is a federal election, but I know they will tamper and mess with a federal election as well. Don't think it.
Man, this is definitely to displace us, man. There was I think it was a senator or something like that, a black a lady in politics, whatever that was. She was she was trying to rebuttal it too, saying that it's going to displace our vote. But at the same time, she's right. But I mean, you know what? We're just gonna have to do for self. Time is time is up. The heck with their democracy.
Time is definitely the essence. I do agree with that.
The so-called democracy. The heck with that. We got to do for self. These people are showing us that they want us to do for self. They're showing us that they don't need us no more. They're showing, they're saying that they wanted to make up for people not voting last election, wherever the case is. Man, that's to discourage our vote. Trust me, man.
Yeah, what they're mad about is that black people weren't voting their way, so now they're trying to import other voters. But this may backfire on them, like it did in Florida and Texas, where they thought, "Oh, we've got all these Hispanics who are going to vote for us." And all those people voted Republican. So this may blow up in their face, and they may wind up, when they start seeing, oh, all those voters are red, like here in New York, we had a lot of the Hispanics and Asians this time turn out for Republicans. And that's got a lot of these people quaking in their boots. And that's why the New York City Council is trying to call themselves importing more voters, but they don't understand most of those people, they already are thinking voting red. So this may blow up in their face because they're trying to get back at black people for not voting. But what do we have to vote for? There's no tangibles on the table for us. You basically blew us off. So why should I vote if I'm not going to get anything out of the deal?
She said she in Florida. That's exactly what happened.
You'll notice too, Kamala Harris is trying to get black women to back her and all this stuff too, because her approval rating is low and all this. But see, this is the thing, and she had some women too, supposed to be prominent black women, whatever that is or whoever that is. But see, the thing is, these people are shields, man. We just got to keep it real. These people are shields. These people are boule. These people are basically just propped up, to do the bidding, kind of bidding or whatever. But they don't speak for
us.
Black women, right? They don't speak for black women or so-called black women. I know.
It's all. So I read basically being rude. Well, actually trying to rule through technocrats, but I'm saying I read being ruled by. Well, not rude, but let's just say we've been led around by coons and buffoons too long in politics, and the coon and buffoon effect. While I wouldn't necessarily call your all of our older people coons and buffoons, they follow these coons and buffoons because they believe them, and that's why you get in the situation you're in now. You got coons, buffoons, puppets, actors, and entertainers. I mean. Look, Shawn, I'm not really trying to get too off what I'm saying right here, but like they gave Megan Thee Stallion a Congressional Hero Award. Like, are you serious right now? I mean, are you serious what you just talked about right here? Megan Thee Stallion gets a Congressional Hero Award, man. She graduated from Texas Southern University. They showed you that. Look, let me tell you something, man. Look, I'd have been a lot of places. I mean, I've been around a lot of colleges or whatever. Look, yes, it do be some filthy stuff going on. I can't tell you, but what I'm saying is the fact that you put Megan Thee Stallion, she got a Congressional Hero Award. I don't give a damn about that. Okay. Number 2, let's get real. Megan Thee Stallion is showing you she graduating from college, whether it's an honor degree or they just some virtue signal. But that's not what she rapped about on that record. What do you think about that, Shawn?
No. Well, they gave her that as an empty symbolic gesture, and it also shows how they see black women. They basically do not see a black woman as intelligent. They just see her as somebody they can use as a tool. towards furthering their agenda. I mean, there are other educated sisters they could have given a congressional award to, but they give it to Megan Thee Stallion. And again, it just shows how out of touch these leftists are and how many of these politicians are just completely out of touch and disconnected, because you're rewarding somebody because you want to just try to call yourself getting the popularity with this Megan Thee Stallion, not understanding that today's modern black voter wants tangibles, and they want to somebody who's going to talk about tangibles. I mean, what does Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B talk about? They talk about WAP.
NAACP Twerker Lady of the Year shows you the state of so-called black leaders. Hey, I can't, man, you know it is what it is. Man.
Yeah, they're a bunch of certified clowns, and nobody takes them seriously. And most people in new black media want absolutely nothing to do with these clowns. And that's shown in the last election where people stayed home.
That's true.
Well, look, let me say something. Because I gotta talk about a lot of stuff. I mean, a lot of stuff been going on. Okay, so I gotta talk about a lot of stuff. Okay, but I'm gonna say, Shawn, I really wasn't gonna talk about this on here. I'm not gonna mention every rapper's name, but you did have a piece on YouTube, and you probably made people mad. You didn't make me mad, because what you're saying that a lot of these rappers go to these certain schools, certain colleges, schools of performing arts. They give you an image of thug life, but they're not none of that. They're just actors, and they tell you to go do it. That's what you said, right? I watched the videos. I know what it said. But
that's what I said in the classic video, that many of these rappers, they are fake, they are phony, they are products that are created by Hollywood movie studios. They create an image of this whole thug and prostitute image, and they promote that towards our youth, and they think that it's real, but none of it is real. It is all something that was scripted and designed by some white executive in Hollywood, because that's what they want to see. And because they have the money to control that media, they create that narrative for us. And what happens is we're thinking that that's real, but there's nothing real about any of that. It's all made up and choreographed and staged.
Okay. I see what you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I happen to see that. And matter of fact, the brother right here saying that you were talking about Tupac actually. But also I will say this, that you there was a video in 1991, or was it 92, why Bone Thugs and Harmony had came and said that the Jewish people had infiltrated hip hop, and then this was the music. They told them, if y'all don't make this music, y'all can't rap no more. You're not gonna be talking all that uplifting rap music. You're gonna be talking about downgrading rap music. You're gonna be talking about bitches and hoes and all that. That's what Bone Thugs and Harmony, who had a versus against 3 6, I think 2 weeks ago. Actually, one of the guys, Bone Thugs and Harmony, said that.
And that's what actually happened, because after they got a hold of hip hop, that's how we started with the NWA, with the Straight Outta Compton. And since then, it's just become one big clown show of guys sagging their pants, guys talking about thug life, guys talking about the dope game. I mean, we didn't have that when black men controlled the rap game. When heterosexual black men controlled the rap game back in the late 70s and 80s, it was a very positive art form, because it was called rhythm and poetry. And again, it was about showing how intelligent we were, and how showing that even though people were poor, they could go out here and have some pride in themselves. But the mainstream media did not like that narrative, like they didn't like the Cosby Show. So what they wanted to do was try to sabotage the whole rap game. And once they gave them that whole mainstream exposure, because back then rap was not on a lot of mainstream platforms, it was usually showed by local stations and local record stores, but it was starting to grow popularity. What they wanted to do was take over the whole game. And what they did was, when they took it over, they turned it back into this whole street thug stuff. We never had it like that.
I'm gonna give you a little thing that happened a couple weeks ago.
Agreed.
I think Drake came out and said the other day that he don't want to be considered just a hip hop guy. He's like ultra talented. He could be in all categories or something. Technically, he right, because he do rapping, singing, and all that. But back then, you weren't gonna say that. Either you're a rapper, you was a singer, so you're not gonna be diversified all the way across the map.
It just goes to show how like they're trying to really soften the image that they're trying to make some like new sub genre, like a soft kind of like hip hop. Because if you notice too, a lot of the auto tune kind of rap that we got right now, a lot of them aren't really rapping. They're more like harmonizing through the auto tunes and through the 808s and stuff like that, and the trappy type beats. They're kind of like harmonizing. So it's not really. I mean, they kind of already changed the way the rap game is already from the thug stuff
Shawn,
now
I'm gonna
to.
ask you
I
a
mean, 'cause
question. Yeah.
it's still thug imagery, but I mean, they all sound like robots now. To be honest with you,
And that's what
yeah.
the
Okay.
entertainment
Hey,
industry
Shawn,
does.
I'm gonna ask you a question.
They
My
manufacture these
buddy,
guys.
my buddy,
Okay.
Shawn, one of my buddy Wes, he texted me. He said Snoop Dogg recognized who the real gangster was when he attacked DL King.
Yeah, the real
Ooh.
gangsters are the guys in the white guys in the suits and ties. They're the real gangsters because if you say something against them, all they do is make one phone call, and you're the records. You're never even going to be able to set foot in the studio, and your records are never going to get distributed. So those are the real gangsters.
They the real
Agreed.
gangsters.
Agreed.
So let me ask you a question. If they the real gangsters, then who is Snoop Dogg then?
He's just a manufactured product. He's just a product that they're selling. And what they do is, again, they can find any guy off the street, dress him up, put a name on him. And once they distribute his record all over the country, he's a product that they own. It's something I wrote in my screenplay all about Maryland, and which deals with Hollywood, is that they create products and they call them properties. And when they get a hold of you and they get you to sign a contract for them, you're not a person anymore. You're a property. And once you become a property, basically they can do whatever they want to you because you agreed to do this. And they have complete control over your image, your name, and whatever is out here. They have complete control over all of that. And and if you don't agree to their terms, that you go back to falling into obscurity, and you go back to being this guy who's just out there struggling and trying to find a way.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, let's stop.
For
Let's stop
sure. I
calling
agree.
it black ball and call it white ball. That's what she said.
Yep.
What do you think?
Because the white guys control the entertainment industry, but they'll make you think, oh, this guy like Suge Knight is so tough. But it's like, no, if you go against one of these executives, that's the end of you, complete end of you. It's the worst thing that could ever happen to you because they'll just make it where you'll never work again.
No, for sure. For sure.
But that's what you know. What that's what Jared Heller did to Easy, kind of.
Yeah, he blacklisted him.
You know. Yeah.
And plus, don't forget they got a hip hop
that's how
police.
it works.
They got a hip hop police too. So don't forget, there's much more levels to this, man. It's not just entertainment, and they know, with something that's revenue and so much money around the world, around the globe. You know what I'm saying? They have to, they have a way of controlling it and policing it. So that's exactly what this industry is doing.
All right, how you feel about this, Shawn? These days, small hats have complete control over the rap game. They're the female artist sector is floating themselves, and the male artists wearing a dress and makeup.
Yep, that's what they want. They figure they're paying the money. This is what they want.
Speaking of that, before I get off this subject, let me say something to you. I just want to bring this up. I got two big articles that came out today. Two big articles. One, Candace Parker, the female WNBA player, she comes out and says her wife and her are expecting, and she didn't even release it to 2 years early, 2 years later that she was married to a woman. First part. Gabrielle Union told you also today, if you can't accept how her son is, then you're not welcome in their home. Who gives a shit? Wow. Like, seriously, who cares? Candace Parker, I didn't need to know you married a white chick, but I kind of did because you came out 2 years. So if you are so accepted, why you take 2 years to come out and talk about it? Huh? So
you're so proud.
You want me to go in the closet and shut my mouth about you, Gabrielle Union and Candace Parker, but no, you got to get some blowback for this. Okay? I don't want to come to your son's house anyway. I mean, I don't want to come and bring your son in. I'm just telling you. That's just the way it is. I'm pretty sure if they made guys, they want to come around you either. Just put it out there.
No,
this is what I'm saying.
Sounds like they're virtue signaling again. These guys have come out here for attention.
Darius from Atlanta said you can't be a gangster wearing a person heels. And you know what? I've been seeing some of these guys like Russell Westbrook and LeBron James wearing these man persons and stuff. I have been seeing that lately a lot too, man. Thanks for putting me on. Thanks for saying that. Now, I got an article, Frank, that I need you to pull up on your screen. It's about YouTube's new policy coming in. Guess what date is coming in? January 6th. I sent it to you yesterday. I think it's by Brownstone. It's going to talk about the new YouTube policies regarding the word misinformation. You got to shout out Wesley for sending me this article. But this is a article. YouTube about to change the game. Okay. Spencer Naylor said it's time to start turning a blind eye to these so-called celebrities. Don't watch the BET Award, don't watch nothing.
Yeah.
I don't watch them anymore. These celebrities are not even worth your time anymore. They're so crazy, you just can't care about them anymore.
So she was married to Sheldon Williams, and all of a sudden she gave. You found the article, Frank?
Yeah, it's right here.
All right. Which one is it? Let me look at it because I want to make sure it's the right article. Because this kind of a doozy. Yep, YouTube censored. All right, there you go. All right, let me go full screen on it. Hold on. I got to hear this. I got to let people read this. This how they about to do this. They about to do some real like dictatorship stuff. All right, countries across the country are striking down vaccine mandate. Even protests have erupted over the world as a trend in which named the Biden administration is sucking the polls. The resistance to this side. Okay, go ahead down, Frank, some more. Keep going, because we got to read through this. But none of this seems to matter. The dominant Google has 75% market share of YouTube, or the 86% share of search controlled by Google. People have critical. Now look. Truly, critically thinking people have already shifted to DuckDuckGo, Rumble, and many other platforms. Their market share is growing, to be sure. The word they use, critically thinking people. See. All right. Just want to point that out. Go down some more. All right. Keep going. Fair permission in Google's. Okay. Keep going. Okay. There it is. Stop. Right there. New terms go into effect on January 6, 2020. Why that date? If they are truly enforced, freedom of speech and the ability of scientific profit to operate unimpeded will be severely curtailed. See that? All right. Under the rules, you cannot claim the pandemic is over. Which is say the pandemic now declared that you cannot make claims that any group or individual has immunity to the virus or cannot transmit the virus, which makes that all the science on nationally acquired immunity can be deleted. All right. Just stop right there, Frank, because we're gonna read through this article. But just to this is by the FAIR Institute of 1996 Privacy Information Act. But look, just off what you read there alone, Shawn and Frank, what you think they're actually saying? What you think they're saying?
Well, it looks like to me what they're trying to do is they're trying to continue this narrative. And what they're trying to do is keep people buying into this narrative. And what they're trying to do is create this whole distortion of fact, even though the facts are right in front of us and we see the facts transpiring right in front of us. They're trying to create their own reality. And when I look at this try to changing the terms of service to fit things, it's no different than changing the definition of that V word that the CDC did. And again, when I look at these behaviors, it's called insanity because only an insane person tries to change reality to fit what they want it to be instead of accepting what is actually going on and is provable by fact.
Okay, let me go into more. You cannot claim that mRNA technology does not reduce the risk of contracting COVID-19, which directly contradicts the FDA. The scientific community does not know if the Pfizer biotech COVID-19 will review such measures. You cannot post videos alleging that social distance and self-isolation are not effective and reduce the spread of the virus. You cannot claim that wearing a mask causes oxygen levels to drop to dangerous levels. They are really getting kind of like Nazi-like in here. They basically what you can't say, right? I'm trying to tell you,
Yeah,
right?
this is becoming a violation of the First Amendment, and it sounds like they've lost their mind. It sounds like somebody is so caught up in trying to make this distorted reality come true that they're basically looking to try to rewrite the rules of everything to make
Okay,
their reality reality. This is
okay.
some psychosis right here on display. Mental illness.
It reminds me of
Hey,
Mysterio
hold on, man.
from
Look, let me
Spider-Man,
keep going, man. Hey, look.
changing reality and
When I'm sitting there reading, right? I be reading this stuff, and when sometimes when I read, I gotta chuckle at these guys. I say, y'all like, hey, look, you want to think this like a pipe dream, like this like some type of comedy show, right? When these people talk about this shit real, but nevertheless, and there's one you cannot claim that achieving herd immunity through natural effectively is safer than inoculating the population, even though indifference is inevitable and the vaccines cannot make a substantial contribution to achievement due to their ability to protect fully against infection prevention. As usual, the long list of do nots also includes statements that are patently false and otherwise ridiculous, so it makes it dangerous to admit them. The full list is extremely long, includes many fully questions that Google users want to be clear clues. Go down a little bit more, Frank. This one they starting to get real out there. Some of the do nots also include statements that are contradicted by statements from Fauci and Biden, such as rule you cannot make any claim that inoculation is a guaranteed prevention method for COVID-19. The head of the CDC made exactly this claim. Now, let me ask you a question. I want to ask both of y'all a question. Who the hell are they to tell you that you can't contradict anything that Biden and Fauci say? Who said that? They telling you this. What's going on here?
That sounds like they're just going insane. Sounds like a lot of people at the top, like I said, in 2016, a lot of people practically had a psychotic break. And we're seeing that the psychotic break is getting deeper and deeper because a lot of these rules are contradicting themselves because they make no logical sense. I mean, you're so obsessed with trying to hold a narrative together that you can't even see that you're contradicting your own rules. And that's what a crazy person does. I mean, basically, we're seeing insanity being presented right in front of us because if you cannot challenge statements by people like your Dr. Fauci and Biden, which people do all the time on social media, then you're basically saying that nobody has free speech on YouTube, and that's a slippery slope that's going to lead to the end of the site going the way of MySpace because they are getting to the point where they're going to do something dumb like Tumblr did and practically flag a whole bunch of videos and drive off all the foot traffic and lead to their own demise because they're obsessed with trying to hold this narrative together. And this narrative just is falling apart every day.
Stop right there. Stop right there. You're right about what you said. Thanks for saying that because you actually beat me to it. If these rules are strictly enforced, millions of videos, interviews, television shows, lectures, press conferences, and scientific presentations will disappear, maybe tens of millions actually, and all in the name of protecting science against its corruption, as if YouTube should be the determinant of what institutes good science. Go down a little bit more, Frank. Here's what Google says about the consequence of violating the rules. You like my daddy or something, right? I mean, damn. We may allow content that violates misinformation policies noted on this page if it's a content that includes additional content, video, audio, title, or description. This is not a free pass from misinformation. Additional content may include countervailing views from local health authorities or medical experts. We may also accept exceptions if the purpose of the content is to condemn, dispute, or satirize them into violates our policies. We may also accept the content shown in an open public forum like a protest or public hearing, providing the content is not aimed to promote misinformation and violence their policy. Go down a little bit more. Just a little bit more. If it violates our policy, remove the content, send an email, and then they tell you we give you a strike within 9 days. Then 90 days your term will be terminated, and so forth. And like, how does it that such a big business can become fully captured by government? I have friends who say the reverse that Google is fully captured the government. Go down a little bit more. And it's driving the agenda regardless of the troubled world. So forth. Like you can find this institute on Brownstone Institute. I mean, you know, in this article, it's also observe that Google has everything to gain from its investment in lockdown policies and mandates, all the better to keep people glued to their personal computers. So I just wanted Brownstone Institute, you can get this article, but I think you might need to read this because it's a really important article. Now, with that being said, let me just put this out there. Okay. Come back. Getting off there. I just had to go to full screen to read that. But what y'all think? What you think about that? Shawn and Frank, what you think about this article? It's a good article, but what you think about it? It's good. Got good information. What you think, man? It's kind of weird, right?
It just shows how YouTube is run by the same type of delusional types who just keep wanting to hold this narrative together, and how they're just obsessed with trying to keep their reality together. It's really a scary thing. They're really even willing to implode their own website basically to keep a delusion going on. Excuse me.
Gab?
And this delusion is one that they're trying to keep together, but you can't keep this delusion together because every day we see that the narrative crumbles every minute before you. And the whole thing is people are continuing to show you how much of their mind they have lost, especially on the far left, how they cannot deal with the reality that the world that they wanted to create is just not working. And this is one of the things that has them practically losing their mind and has them going crazy and creating crazy policies to keep their reality intact. But there's no keeping an insane person's insane world intact because it's just not logical. And the whole thing is, if you try to go and flag all these videos again, you're going to wind up like Tumblr did, and then you're going to wind up losing the whole platform altogether.
What do you think about it, Frank?
This is you can kind of like kill two birds with one stone, man. Because with this one, you could monitor and like they do monitor people's channels and stuff like that, and then you could get rid of people's channels at will. You see what I'm saying? And like Shawn said, man, you keep doing this, man. People keep up at it, man. It's YouTube might not even be able to last, man. And thing is, I've heard two people taking YouTube to court and suing them. So I mean, I don't understand YouTube. You see what I'm saying? I know they have been taken to court for similar stuff like this. So I mean, they're trying to really keep this. It's a narrative. This is obvious. It's a narrative because they wouldn't be going so far. And you got to think how much money YouTube is getting paid to push this narrative right along with these people, man. How much it goes to show these people got a lot invested into this whole jab thing. So yeah, man, it's a lot of money invested. So there needs to be a return on investment. And at the same time, the people that are getting skimmed off the top and that are getting fed and paid, they need to keep the same narrative. So yeah, the money's going around. That's all that is. It's money. It's a money thing, man. It is a money thing. And it's a control thing.
My thing. Let me give you my take, because I read this article. They said a couple of weeks ago, only technocrats could save us. Excuse you, a technocrat? I don't want a technocrat doing a damn thing because y'all are getting too out there with this shit. This article shows you just how diabolical they're going to be. And why January 6th? Why you had to pick January 6th? Oh, somebody happened on January 6th. Remember last year on January 6th, they started pulling down a lot of accounts. Remember, so you want to run through this game again?
Okay. Yeah, it's symbolic. It's the left trying to get back at the right. And all they're doing is getting ready to Tumblr themselves or MySpace themselves. I've seen this done before with Tumblr, and I mean Tumblr, it went out bad because they call themselves censoring a lot of artists, and the artists just left. And if you lose the artist, you lose all the foot traffic because all those people, they're the ones who bring the money in. So you go out here and alienate the artists who create the content, you're going to lose your entire site and all of its foot traffic in less than no time.
What do you think about this? The masses are asleep, so YouTube not fall. They shut down the troopers. Okay, let me say something about that, Spencer. Now, let me ask you a question. I'm gonna ask Shawn and Frank a question here. Good question. If I put up a video of a woman twerking on here, how many views would I get? Just asking.
Couple thousand.
Probably more than that, probably
100,000, maybe 200,000.
But nevertheless, that's okay. Okay, whatever. But fine, that's fine. Whatever the case may be. But so they won't take that down. But a couple weeks ago, I read information from the WHO, CDC. I'm reading their data now. And guess what? They flagged me for a week, man. I'm reading the information you present. So you don't want me to read your information anymore? Is that what you want to do? I mean, I'm getting it off your website. I mean, I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought I was blessing you with your own information, just giving you props of your information. But you said, no, BJ, we don't want you to put that in. Only put that out there. Talk about the good. Don't talk about none of the bad. Well, hey, I hate to say it, but it's good and bad on both sides of every side of the coin in life. So that's just the way it goes. So are we getting to a thing where, let me ask you a question. Are we becoming a kumbaya society? What's going on here?
Well, what's happening here is with these leftists is all they want to do is be told what they want to hear in the way that they want to hear it. It's basically like a small child. What they want to be told is what I want to hear that makes me feel good. And they basically are running policy based on emotion, not logic. So you've got a group of people who basically all they want to do is for you to tell them good things, but never criticize them. Because I've seen this also going on in the comic book business. A lot of these people, they want to go out here and create really bad comics. And then when people critique them, they can't take the criticism. So what they want to do is try to flag people's channel for critiquing them or roasting up their books. But
right,
this is all part of the business. And it seems like these people, they're so sensitive that they have these really fragile and thin skin, and they can't take any sort of criticism. So anybody who presents points, even using their own information, they want to shut them down based on their feelings. And that's really dangerous narrative to be allowed to go on, and a dangerous policy, because it makes it where everything is arbitrary based on feelings. And that's not how you run a business, because if one guy can say something that makes you feel good and say the same thing and you allow it, and then another, it makes the whole company look bad. And eventually, optically, it makes it where people look at this website and say, this is not a site I can put content on because the people here are absolutely insane.
Yeah, this is to take certain people off, and just like you said, it said critical thinkers, right, in the article.
Yeah. When they just say critical. Now check this out. Now I want to ask another question here. Seriously. So I'm going to ask Shawn a question. Is YouTube ran by a bunch of simps and feminists? Is that what I'm looking at?
That's what it is. It's a bunch of beta male simps and a bunch of feminists who cannot stand the fact that people are putting up counterpoints and reinforcing the points with facts and logic. And they're making it a hostile environment for content creators who don't tell people what they want to hear. And they only want to hear certain narratives about things, hear certain opinions on their platform. They basically have gone from being a platform and turned into a publisher, because a publisher is supposed to have their own viewpoints on their platform. Like, for example, with my SJS Direct imprint, the mission is positive stories about the Black experience and to do nonfiction about men's issues. So I'm a publisher and I'm publishing from those two viewpoints, but YouTube says it's a platform and it's got federal backing. But it seems like every day they're acting more and more like a publisher, and they're only allowing products on their platform that fits the opinions they want to see.
Question. But let me just say something. You got a book called Simping in Cyberspace, right?
Yeah. That's
okay. Now,
book.
That's right. Let me say something about that. Simping in Cyberspace.
Yeah, Stop Simping in Cyberspace. It's available in paperback and Kindle format.
I got you 100% here. I want to bring something up. Now, do you realize that most of these technocrats are simping in cyberspace, but they're simply to shut us down? Do you realize how crazy that shit is?
Right.
That's how extreme a cyber simp can get. When a cyber simp is out here and hears information he does not like, what he wants to do is he wants to shut down the platform because he wants to be able to control the information. He wants only the information he likes to be out there. Not understanding on an information superhighway, you've got thousands of miles of information out there, and you cannot shut down all of that information. So these guys are cyber simps. They want to control everything because they fear losing control over the whole platform. They don't understand that when you create a platform and it's open to everyone, everyone has a right to present their opinion. And if you don't want to hear opinions, what you do is you create your own website and you create your own page and put your content on that page.
Okay, got a big question here. You know, back in the day, we would have opinion, debate, facts, right?
Yep.
Now I'm gonna even talk about this in a context of just me, you, and Frank. Just use it. I should use it for a woman, but I'm gonna use it for you right in this one. So you have agreement, we talk it out, we go get our pens, right? Our paper, and we say, this the facts I got, what you got, right? Oh, I don't like that, so I don't want to hear it. Well, wait a minute. You don't like what? Because I said it. Like, it's a big subject I've always asked, and I've been asking this for the last 3-4 weeks to Frank. Just saying, I want to realize I got a book in my room called Against Feminism, right? And one thing I've been realizing about these women with this feminist, independent mindset. Now, I know some women get mad at me, but I really don't give a damn. Okay, so it don't matter. Look, what is this thing about women today not accepting accountability? But the problem is women that don't accept accountability, but some of them even get with men who don't accept accountability. So you got a 2-pronged sword going in here. But one thing about feminism, it does not promote any accountability for anything. That's one thing about feminism. That's the number one of these feminists. There's no accountability for anything. Everything is victimhood. Like, no, let me say something, Shawn. I'm just being honest with you. If I, daggone, don't keep up my diet and nutrition, and I get a medical problem, that's on me. That's not on Shawn. That's not on Gavin. That's not on somebody else. That's on me. Okay? If I get diabetes because I eat wrong, eat a bunch of donuts and shit. So actually, Pepsi and Coca-Cola just got recalled the other day. You might want to pay attention to that, right? But nevertheless, that's okay. That is on me. If you smoke cigarettes and you get, that's on you, because it does say it can cause cancer. It's on the package, right? It's on the package. I mean, like I said, I've had people tell me, well, I took the shot because I smoke cigarettes, and you might die from something, so I might want to take the shot. Like, what? You serious right now? Are you serious right now? What you just told me? I'm asking the question because don't nobody want to be seem like something going on with the accountability factor, and I think this has been part of that 50-year plot plus of these feminists to ruin society by this non-accountability. I mean, seeing men, crying over crazy stuff, man. Like, what? Like, look, I ain't trying to be funny, Shawn. Everybody got personal problems, but when a man come tell me that he's stressing like a woman, I got a serious problem. I'm just telling you, like, this dumb crap. I'm just talking about the dumb crap I'm seeing. Women driving two guys around. Women letting guys drive the car. Daggone women. No, dude, this is not how we used to do this stuff, man. This is not normal. If you keep on letting it be normal, you never get to the problem, right?
Yep.
You know what? I done got to the point where I had to tell a chick.
My bad, Darius is funny.
No, I had to tell a chick, no. I had to tell a chick a couple of weeks ago. I told her, look, y'all are out of your minds. I said, look, I'm gonna be dead on with you. I'm not telling you. Now, look, Kanye West did say it, so I'm not telling you to be a gold digger, but she ain't messing with Brooklyn, right? That's what he said, right? That's what he said, right? But I'm sitting there saying, I used to work with some guys, right? No disrespect to them. They're all right, I guess, right? But they're saying, I'm living with a woman. I'm staying in my woman house. You remember the movie Baby Boy, right? You remember Baby Boy, right?
That was a horrible movie, by the way. Horrible. Really bad.
It just showed the truth to me about these beta males, how they live.
Well, that's the point. But they were actually giving us the blueprint for what they're about to do now. That's the point of the movie Baby Boy. Right? So what I'm just saying that actually the Baby Boy thing is in full effect now. Remember the word. I'm at the crib. Well, a crib is a baby carrier.
Right.
I'm at the crib, right? I'm at the crib. You know, he had 2 women, stuff like that with Jody, right?
Mm.
Now, I'm gonna be dead. We got a lot of Jodys running around there. I'm just telling you.
That's true.
But you know, back in the day, I'm just telling you. I mean, you know, this some women ain't no. I'm not knocking them, but I gotta say this. You know, back in the day, a woman wouldn't even talk to you. Well, someone would, but you know, you had a car, you know, something. You had to have some type of, I guess, some type of asset to show you was a man, right?
Yeah, you had to have stuff. You had to have your own place. You had to have your car. You had to have something in order for women to talk to you.
Okay, now, daggone, it's the guy saying, I wanted to, you know, I was telling the woman, she talking about, man, I just looking for a man to go 50-50 with me. You know what I told her? If you tell a man, if a man telling you that he going 50-50 with you, I don't know what that is. That's some
Weak
daggone,
stuff.
that sound crazy as hell anyway. I told her, yeah, I told her, look, daggone, you might want to be by your damn self. She was like, well, why that? She was like Nicki Minaj and them say I'm supposed to hold it down. That's the
Oh wow.
damn problem because you keep
Oh
these
my
stupid ass feminists
god.
talking this dumb shit.
Wow.
Oh, and by the way,
Mm.
and then you know something else. I don't even have it in my own personal life. I ain't gonna tell you a lie. Daggone. Sometimes you have the women that's already married. They want to be a side chick, right? But then they get mad with you when you tell them, no, I can't do that with you. You're not, that's not the way that's not the way it's going down. You know, so and they get mad about that. So we're living in a I call it a parallel universe, but I think we're living in a simp society, like you say, and I don't think the simps can I think if it doesn't get straightened out, it's actually too far gone anyway. You can't stop it. But you can try to contain it for you. Matter of fact, I should get the book out of the room and show you the book is called Against Feminism, but it's telling you the reasons to be against it. So that's it. But look, let me say something, Shawn. That the same thing, the same people who controlling the rap game, they control this feminist too. All right?
I know.
So it's the same script, just different
Yep.
result. That's all it is. He's sipping in. Oh, Kanye. Oh, this brother says Kanye needs your books. He's sipping in cyberspace right now.
Yeah, he definitely needs to stop simping in cyberspace. He's
Okay.
a king to a cyber simp.
This man say he saw a show with some obese sisters talking about white supremacists while they're morbidly obese.
No.
I seen that same one, dude. I seen that show, man. Oh my god.
Yeah,
No
you did.
accountability.
Yeah,
No accountability, though.
yeah.
No.
Got to keep getting that truth out. People were trending when Trump got not realizing that you can deflate presidents. Anybody's fair game. Shawn, this guy is exactly right on what he just said right there.
What do you say?
Oh, he's saying that if you can deflatform Trump, you can deflatform anybody.
Yeah, that's what they can do. They can take anybody out with just a phone call. You're not going to be having a platform. And the whole thing is they censor people who they know are building a voice and a counterpoint to what they want people to listen to.
Mm.
Was it Harlem? I'm not sure what he's saying right here. Gavin saying, what is it, Harlem?
That show Harlem, they had a guy busting his booty open for a rim job.
Oh yeah. Speaking of that, because I got Frank to pull up one video, but don't do it yet, Frank. We gotta talk about this guy. Speaking of guys, I hadn't had your own Shawn since the Bussy Smollett. That's it. I ain't even call him. That ain't a daggone name. That Mr. Smollett. What do you think, Shawn? What do you think about this? I know you got something to say about this. It was interesting.
He got what was coming to him because he was not really interested in helping out the black community. He was looking to get a payday for himself. And what happened is he reaped what he sowed. He wanted to go out here and set up this whole incident to get attention for himself. And he got attention for himself. And now he's going to be doing time, possibly, if they don't try to get him out of this jam. But the whole thing is he got what was coming to him. And even it went. The whole thing is he got what he deserved.
I could see that. I could agree with that. And these actors are so-called entertainers. They don't never get back to the black communities. A lot of them. You see what I'm saying? The only one I can really think of is like Jim Brown and certain like people like that. Other than that, I can't really think of too many. You see what I'm saying? And that's the thing. I think that's why they get paid so much money too. It's not just the entertainment part, but to be shields, man. That's why they get endorsements and other things too, to be shields to the white supremacist culture. Like, you see what I'm saying? And it's indoctrination too, man. These people, but see, the thing is, just like Jim Clyburn said, as long as him and his family is good, he's good. You see what I'm saying? It's a selfishness too. It's definitely a selfishness too with our people. But those aren't our people, man. These are entertainers.
No, they're not. They're not about us. So whenever something happens to them, we shouldn't even be thinking about them because they weren't thinking about us. I mean, your Jussie Smollett didn't care if people would run into Trump supporters or the Black Lives Matter and they would get caught in the middle of their violence. He didn't care about any of that. All he cared about was, I'm going to get a raise from Lee Daniels and be featured on the storyline in Empire, and he could care less about what was the consequences or ramifications. So I look at your Jussie Smollett as a traitor to the community and a sellout, and somebody who I have very little empathy or sympathy for because he wasn't looking about for us, so we shouldn't even be thinking about him.
No. Well, let me say something. Actually, Jussie Smollett actually claimed to be a Jewish guy anyway. So actually, but nevertheless, those are people that supported him. But let me say something about this. One thing about Jussie Smollett, he did get one lesson. When you get in trouble, the leftists, well, BLM did, but most of the leftists did not come to your aid. They didn't come in. Don Lemon, who you spilled the beans on, said, called you a liar. Oh, They leftists didn't even support you, Jussie. They left you in the wind.
Hung him out to dry like a pair of drawers.
Yeah. So what do you think about that? See, one thing about these leftists now, they got rid of Cuomo. Hey, look, man, hey, we only support you. So we're going to use you for a little bit of time, and then we're going to drop you like a hot potato. Bang! On the couch. He's done.
That's typical of the leftist. He's a very shallow person who only talks about tolerance and acceptance and talks about being this paragon of virtue, but he or she has no character whatsoever. And they're only with you as long as things are going good for them. But when things stop going good for them and things start going bad, they will hang you out to dry and they will leave you out there and then move on to the next person. So your leftist is not somebody who's going to stand by you. They're just there for the moment, and they're there for the attention they can get for themselves. These guys are the ultimate opportunists, and that's why people really don't like them, because they're just not genuine people. They're just there for the attention and the ability to get points for themselves. And then once they get their points, they'll drop you and your cause in a heartbeat.
Well, let me say something about them right quick before I let Frank play the video. But the problem with these people is like that stuff that he did. It was cold as hell at night. That was in Chicago. They say it was Trump supporter, but even two Nigerians, man. Come on, people. Yeah. Think. Like, what's up? So, I don't know.
You have to really think about what happened there. Musty, dusty,
just what it is. But Frank, I want you to play this video that I sent you. I think it's from Good Morning America. It was the CDC director talking about the booster. But I want you to, there's an article, there's a part in here that's going to come up that we need to listen to. So just play it, because I want you to hear this. And I couldn't believe they said this. I knew this. I've been telling you this all the time. I just couldn't believe
You said Good Morning America?
Yes, the CDC director. You'll see her. Yeah, just put it in there. As soon as you put it in there, I get it.
You sent me it today or yesterday?
Yeah, today. I sent it to you a little while ago. If I gotta send it again, I'll send it again. But I know I sent it to you already. Because we gotta Let's see.
Hold up. You might have to send it again.
No. You know what? Pull up. Well, I forgot to tell you, Kroger is gonna take away
I'm gonna do
Yeah,
the
I saw
Kroger
that.
one.
take away paid COVID benefits, add insurance surcharge for
Want me to do that one?
unjabbed employees. So I'm just telling you that Kroger, the grocery store, is going to do that.
Yeah, I saw
me-
that, and
want me to
all they're
pull it
going
up?
to do is spread more COVID.
Pull up, Frank. Why unjabbed people testing positive for COVID? I sent that to you at 6:02 tonight. So put that in there. Yeah, put that in there.
Okay, let me see.
Because it might not have been from the CDC director. She said something too, but I think this is the one. I can't remember which one it was. I was just listening to. I always like to see how they playing the game. You know, you just pull up why unvaccinated people testing positive for COVID. And they're gonna use the word breakthrough case a lot. But if you haven't been realizing lately, NBA, NFL, supposed to be having a lot of outbreaks now.
Okay, you want me to pull it
now? I
Okay.
thought.
I don't think I see it. So you want me to let me see on YouTube or what?
Yeah, no, it's I sent it to you 6:02. It should be in your messenger.
Hold up. Okay, what was okay? I see the Amtrak one. Let me see.
Let me find it. Let me send it to you a different way. Lakers cancel practice after positive test. Just pointing that out there. Oh, here it is, Frank. I'm gonna send it to you again right here. You got it? Yeah. But I'm just saying that the hypocrisy of Kroger and them.
Oh, okay.
Now I do think they said if you are in the union, you're exempt from
our board. Just a job.
My bad. Oh, shit.
Joining us means you're ready for a career that
Sorry about that.
Impact. Apply to our full-time, full benefits pharmacy services roles today.
You got to add it to the stream, though.
In the headlines lately,
COVID breakthrough infections.
we're increasingly hearing about fully vaccinated people infected with COVID, from athletes
You
and
reporting only.
everyday Americans.
And then when I tested positive,
I mean, it ain't on the screen.
what is going on?
Over the weekend, singer Doja Cat, who says she was fully vaccinated,
It's on there.
testing positive for COVID-19.
Doja Cat.
You gotta click.
She'll no longer be able to perform at her
I'll come back.
but that she's doing okay and looks forward to recovery and getting back out there.
Wow.
So what is breakthrough COVID? It's when a person tests positive at least 2 weeks after being fully vaccinated, sometimes with no symptoms and other times feeling classic COVID symptoms, loss of smell and taste, fever, aches, and cough. The CDC tracks breakthrough cases by following healthcare workers, frontline workers, and data from state health departments.
That's giving us a really accurate view of breakthrough cases, both for 2 doses of vaccine and now for booster shots as well.
A Washington state study of 4 million fully vaccinated people shows about 1 in 5,000 experienced a breakthrough case from mid-January through mid-August. The most recent CDC data shows that in September, unvaccinated people had a nearly 6 times greater rate of testing positive for COVID compared to fully vaccinated people, and a 14 times greater risk of death. More than 200 million Americans are fully vaccinated. That's 60.7% of the eligible population here in the U.S. According to the CDC, COVID vaccines are keeping people out of the hospital. These symptoms from a recent breakthrough case.
I started out with a head cold. I thought that it was just allergies.
Fever, chills, fatigue. I had a terrible headache.
So, I mean, that really raises a lot of questions. We have Dr. John here as well. And first of all, just perspective, because how common are these breakthrough cases?
You know, they're a lot less common than most people think they are, because you hear about them, but they're not happening that often. They're more common than we thought they would be, because we thought the vaccine would give us more protection, but then Delta came along. And so we're seeing them more often. But like Vicki mentioned in her piece there, you're 6 times more likely to test positive if you're unvaccinated. And that's where we're seeing numbers overall.
What if you're vaccinated and boosted? Are there people who are getting those breakthrough breakthrough cases who've gotten the 3 shots?
We think there are people that have gotten 3 shots and are getting breakthrough cases as well. The thing about that, though, is they're less likely to get hospitalized. They're much, much less likely to get serious disease, and their symptoms seem to be milder. We know their viral load goes up, but then it goes away very quickly compared to those that are unvaccinated, especially, and they tend to get over it more. People talk about their symptoms. They say they're much lighter, only last a couple of days, and they bounce right back.
And then if you've been around someone who's then test positive, should you get tested even if you're vaccinated? I mean, how do you know when to take a test?
And what the CDC's criteria are, if you're in close contact, meaning if you're within 6 feet for 15 minutes or more, then you should get tested. If you start getting symptoms, regardless if you've been around somebody, you should still get tested at that point. And then start thinking about your own factors. If you have high-risk people in your house, then you might want to get tested. If you're going to parties, you might want to get tested.
Yeah, Vicki, what do we know about the people who are getting these breakthrough cases? Is there kind of like a profile?
Well, we know that everybody has an individual risk profile, and it includes a lot of different factors. So, 1, how healthy are you overall? 2, what's the community rate of infection in your area? 3, what are you coming into contact with? Do you have a public-facing job? Are you working from home? Who are you spending a lot of time with? What we also do know is vaccines are highly effective. The newest data coming out of the LA County Public Health Department, for example, shows unvaccinated people are 20 times more likely to end up in the hospital than someone who is vaccinated if they get COVID.
So vaccination would be the top of the list of things to do to lower your risk.
Exactly.
What other ideas are there?
Certainly this time of year, it's tempting to go inside. It's cold, but try to avoid those crowded indoor spaces with strangers. If you have to be inside, wear a mask. Consider getting a booster if you haven't. That's going to give you optimal protection. And then going back to the basics of washing your hands, eating a balanced diet, and getting sleep. I know it's easier said than done, but 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep. Consider getting a flu shot too. These are all things to help optimize your health and boost your immune system.
7 to 8 hours.
You can stop them. When have you heard people talk about eating a balanced diet? Have you ever heard that? No.
I've not heard that.
You haven't heard it, but that's what they just told you in there. Why they won't telling you that all along? I was shocked they put this up there. They never talk about that. Never. So I showed it to you because a lot of people probably missed that, but I didn't miss it. I said, oh, okay. Now you can talk about eating a balanced diet. Well, maybe I could have been doing that all along. Right? That's interesting. What do you think about that, Shawn? That's interesting. They brought that out there, right?
Yeah.
Kind of interesting. Yeah, but they won't don't think that they're going to say that all the time. I'm just saying they said it today. They might not say it tomorrow.
They probably let it slip out.
Huh?
They probably let it slip out. But all I know is a healthy diet, and when you're eating vitamins and working out, you're gonna stay healthy. Because when I was taking a lot of vitamin C based fruits, and I was eating supplements like zinc and things like vitamin B12, it really boosts your immune system. So people, they don't want to talk about those aspects of things. All they want to do is just keep pushing this jab like obsessively, but they don't want to talk about diet and exercise, and they don't want to talk about, going out here and getting basic vitamins. I mean, basic vitamins can keep you from getting sick and keep you functioning for a long time.
Got a couple more questions for you, Shawn, right here. I got one more question. Actually, 2. So you got a new mayor coming in on the first of the year, Eric Adams. Your thoughts?
Well, I don't know what we're going to get from Eric Adams, but I'm hoping he's better than Bill de Blasio. Right now, at this point, anybody would be better than Bill de Blasio, but I'm not expecting much from Eric Adams because he's looking like another Barack Obama knockoff. And with these Barack Obama knockoffs, they talk a good game, but they all follow the party line. And that's the issue I have with Eric Adams is he's not really showing me any sort of real sort of leadership. He, like Joe Biden, making a lot of symbolic moves, but not really showing me any sort of strong leadership that would show me that he's going to be effective. Now, your Bill de Blasio, he was a complete disaster and took the city back to the 1970s and that dark period with his failed leadership and his mandates, which is basically have done nothing to stop anything as related to the pandemic. And his leadership just has alienated so many people that no one wants anything to do with him.
You're right about Barack Obama. I forgot to tell you, Barack Obama and Fauci were at a school in D.C. a couple weeks ago talking to the kids about getting the jab. But that's another story. But you call him Barack. But look, you said Barack Obama followed the party line, right?
Yeah.
Well, he could. Well, he got a new Netflix deal. He got a daggone thing where he working with Nike on a basketball thing, making a basketball camp. Hey, shoot, Barack Obama got it going on right now, man. You know, as far as they're getting all the accolades, but like you said, Shawn, you never saw all the hype in him. Anyway,
No. I saw him as a joke from minute one, because I know anybody that the leftists are pushing is not somebody who is for any sort of anything for Americans.
Well, and now I'm gonna say something, and people in the chat don't like it, but he put some tyranny too. The LGBTQ thing, that's a tyranny.
Yeah.
That I'm gonna tell you something about the Affordable Care Act, and watch this. What did the Affordable Care Act have in it? An individual mandate. Remember that? That's setting up the script for now.
Yeah.
By the way, people who doubted me and told me I didn't know what I was talking about, I told you Joe Biden won't reverse no daggone student loan payments. And he told you after January 31st, those student loan payments coming back. So thanks for telling me that wasn't right. I told you he was daggone shooting you a bunch of game.
Yep. Yeah, I got played. And all these leftists and woke types, they thought they were going to get a free their student loans blown off, but now they're in the hole. And they're like every other person who supported the Biden administration, learning the hard way that leftists, they know how to lie, and they know how to double down on a lie.
What I think, Shawn, I'm not, like I said, I'm not looking for no apology technically, because I really, at this point it's irrelevant. But I do think that you, Gavin, and others, even though y'all speaking, some of us do deserve, just to come back and say, hey man, y'all was right. How can we get on y'all team now? But then again, I'm not sure I want you on my team because you were so scary last year. I don't know if I can trust you. But guess what though? You could at least say, hey, you got it right. I mean, but all that hype. Oh, I gotta get Trump out of office. Remember all that hype last? You remember the hype last year?
Yeah, I remember all that. He had to go. He had to go. He's evil. He's the devil. He's the devil. But
you know one thing I gotta get at leftists though. They always got to have a boogeyman, don't they? Some for you to be scared of. It is Trump or it's COVID or it's the January 6th so-called, which is actually a riot. It's not insurrection. They even tell you it's a riot. It's not insurrection. It's another story. But my thing is, they keep on running these games, right? But when the game don't work, they're getting more tyrannical. I'm going to give you an example. Do people know that the COVID numbers of people who had took the mRNA technology before mandates? It was like probably about 39%, because they told you last week they got 60% fully jabbed, right? That's what they told you, right? But they actually told you we got a 21% increase since mandates. So let's see, I like to make categories, Shawn. Let's say willingly, forced, and people who just saying, I'm not going to be bullied by you. See, if they break it down in a category, they're going to show you, they will really tell you if they're honest. The majority of the public do not agree with this crap. But they don't want to be honest, because that means that I got to take accountability. If I don't, matter of fact, let me take accountability and don't blame us again, because I know you're going to start shaming us. Stacey Abrams says she's running for governor next year. Oh boy. Yeah, whatever. But look, don't shame us and say, oh, it's y'all fault. You know, we need you to save the nation. one more time. Those evil Republicans are, those evil Republicans. They don't want you to be able to go to the store and visit your loved ones for the holiday. They don't want you to go visit your family for Christmas. You know all that stuff. You know that.
All the comical statements they usually make.
Yeah. Now let me ask you a question, Shawn. I'm gonna ask Shawn James a question here. Frank too. I'm gonna ask you a question too on this. Is Fauci your daddy?
No.
Okay. Then why do I need to ask Anthony Fauci? If you're into Christmas or whatever, person not me, but if I want to go see a family member, I get it. I go get my keys, lock the door, get everything I need, and go see him. Who told you that you would end all be all who I go see? Right?
Yeah.
I don't need to listen to Fauci. No, this is my own personal decision. Oh, you know what he said? You know what Fauci had there to say? You should be asking your family members for their proof at the door. Are you serious, man? Are you serious right now?
Fauci is your classic nerd bully, and he's hopped up on his own power and his own ego. And your nerds, what they will do when they get attention is they start getting full of themselves and they start trying to tell you how to do things. And whenever you deal with a nerd bully like Fauci, you got to check a dude like that almost immediately, because he's thinking that because he's so smart and he has control over things, he can use it to make you do things. But if you check that guy from minute one, he will crumple like paper. I mean, he's thinking that because he's so smart and controlling the so-called infectious diseases, he's got leverage over people, and because he's the guy who's the so-called expert, he has all the power. But the way to beat this guy is to find another expert and refute all of his information, and also to just check this guy because he thinks he can continue to move the goalposts endlessly, but he doesn't know that he's backing himself into a wall. I dealt with these kind of nerds back when I was in junior high school and I was being bullied. And your nerd bully, all he does is he keeps moving the goalpost and he keeps changing the terms and he keeps trying to string you along so he can continue to get attention and get power.
Is it Revenge of the Nerds?
Yeah. He's
Okay.
one big nerd. And the way you check this kind of guy is just to pay him no attention and let him know that, yeah, you may be so smart, but I don't have to listen to you. And if enough people stand up to the nerd bully, he'll crumple like a paper tiger. Again, when he tried to shut down Christmas, people came back at him hard. And the whole thing is everybody has to keep coming at him hard because you back this guy into the wall, and that's the way you get the truth out of this kind of guy, because this kind of guy, he likes to talk a good game, but whenever you start to get in his face, that's when the bitch comes out.
You know what I look at? You know what I call Fauci? I call Fauci a snake oil salesman. That's what I call it. A snake oil. Because there goes, hey, look, man. Hey, look. You know when I see him come on, I just sit there and laugh. I said, yo, this guy is funny, man. I like this guy. So let me just break it down to you. Let me just break it down to you in a context before I go. Fauci is a nerd. I guess they got Obama is some type of educated.
He's an educated lame. He's a beta male lame.
Well, he is a beta male. I give you that. That's 100%. He's a beta, and they got who the other person? I don't. Biden's a beta male too, technically, really. But
yeah, he is.
But I'm trying to find out somebody that I'm trying to think about. Kamala Harris or India. So what I'm saying, we're these so-called educated aristocratic types, right? They tell you listen to them, but really tell you the truth. They are completely out of touch with reality.
Yeah.
Look, you know what? See, it's the problem with out of touch. When you out of touch, you gotta fake it. You know what I mean? You gotta fake it when you're out of touch. And when you're out of touch with reality, you gotta say things like, I listen to Tupac, or I smoke weed, or I did this, or I did this. What audience you appealing to, man? Huh? Who you appealing to? Because I know white people don't want to hear that crap. See, you can talk about white people and Hispanic people all you want. You talk about I don't give a damn who you talk about. But white people check these politicians. Hispanic people check these politicians.
That's
you
true.
will not insult me today.
Right. The Jewish people do too.
Oh, they just go to pay, period.
We're the only ones, man.
So look, I don't need, and then when you get in the hole, who you always begging, like Kamala Harris on the thing, telling the sisters, save me, save me. No. And then they come out and say to me, no, it was reading was so productive and she's really, really good. And well, Kamala Harris was the first person to drop out of the primary, so she really that good? She really that good? I mean, no. But Shawn, what do you? I mean, I talked about the beta male, so what do you consider her to be?
I consider her to be another what I call the beta female. Now there's a beta male, there's a beta female, and again they all fake the funk. So when they go out here, they want to be like the alpha male, and they want to copy the alpha male and the alpha female. So what they do is they make it look like they're like the other guy, but people can see through them. For example, your Joe Biden wants to be like Donald Trump, but he isn't Donald Trump. And he tries to copy Donald Trump, but he just comes across as real weak because he has no confidence, no personality, no body language. And that's what we have with a lot on the left. They want to copy. And when people see through that how fake they are, that's when they want to come in with the tyranny and the draconian measures, because people are seeing how full of it they are, how fake they are, how disingenuous they are. And when they see how fake they are, they have no respect for them. People can respect the Donald Trump because even though he's a jerk, he's an honest jerk, and he's at least he's coming straightforward from who he is from the heart. But this other guy and this other woman, they just phony and they're fake, and they want to tell people what they want to hear to become the cool people, but they don't have any confidence, and that's the thing that makes all of their plans fall apart, because they can't come up with nothing on their own. Like if you look at Joe Biden and all of his policies, like the Keystone Pipeline, it's basically him undoing everything Trump did, but then not understanding why things were done. So your beta male and your beta female, they're the biggest copiers in the room. They want to be like the cool guy, but then they just show us how whack they are because they're just really have no personality. They have no vision. They have no confidence, and they can't set direction because the only direction they go are followers. And because there's nobody to follow, they don't know how to lead a group of people.
Okay. Well, going forward, and I'm going to ask both of y'all the question. What do you want to see for New York, and what do you want to see for California, if not leaving the state altogether, which might be the action?
I mean, I definitely want to see, man, we got to, reverse these. We got to get Gavin Newsom out of here. I mean, that's the thing with me. They use it on Trump. We got to use it on him, man. But unfortunately, it's going to be like a next year thing. So we got a little bit more time, man. I want these damn mandates to be reversed. This dude is getting out of control with it, man. It's definitely tyrannical. I want these weird policies that he's trying to implement too. These, 12 girls could get abortions without their parents' consent, and 12-year-olds could get sex changes without their parents' consent. I want all that to go away too. I mean, other than that, man, I'm really just thinking about leaving the state because it's not really too much to hold on to out here. You see what I'm saying?
Don't go to New York right now. but let me say one thing.
I'm from New York too. It's crazy, but it's this BS. I'm just I just want everything to a lot of this type of stuff.
And you might go to Colorado if you want to stay kind of in Midwest, because the Colorado governor did say, he said, look, and I actually appreciate the Colorado governor. I don't give a damn what he said. Yeah, I like what he said. He said, look, we dropping all the mandates. We going on our lives. He said, y'all people don't want to take it. Daggone, if you die, it's on you. Well, I said, shit. If I go get in the car and get hit by another car, and I die, it's on me too, I guess. So it could be on the other driver, but shit. I mean, hey, it is what it is. Thanks for telling me that. Now I can go on my life in Colorado if I live there, and you can get on my way. That's the way it should have always been. So I don't even know why he made that statement. Right. But he's trying to act like he was trying to scare you, but
he was angry because people weren't going the way he wanted. So he decided, I'm just going to give up. So I just, for New York myself, I would love to see all these mandates just go away because it's really impeding the state's economy. We're already in an $8 billion deficit here in New York City right now. And we need to get rid of these mandates because they're not really helping anything. I mean, if we've got 80% of the city, of the state vaccinated and 70% of the state vaccinated, it's just time to move on. And with the COVID pill coming, it's just time to just say, it's over. It's time to move on. And I really want to see them go out here and give us somebody with a vision and a direction, the way Rudy Giuliani had a vision and a direction for the city. I mean, he had a plan to get rid of all of this crime. He had a plan to improve the quality of life in the city. And thanks to his policies, New York City started to come out of the worst state that it was in, because it was practically a hellhole here in New York for many years. A lot of the crime was on all over the place, just like it is now. You had drug addicts, you had the homeless on the streets, and they weren't getting any help. We had people with mental health issues who weren't getting their mental health taken care of. And we really need a visionary who can sit here and have a vision for where he wants to take the city, where he wants to take the city in a way that shapes the city, where it becomes a safe place that everybody can feel safe about coming to. And we need some leadership that can go out here and set a direction and a tone, something we have not had in New York City for, I say, about 12 years now. I would say, even though 16 years, because Bloomberg was not that great of a mayor. And we really need to get New York City back to being one of the great big cities.
I got a question there about Giuliani. And you know, the funny part is a lot of people did not like, well, now he did take down the mafia or something like that when he was there, something like that. Did something like that. But a lot of people did not like Giuliani because of stop and frisk. But just wanted you to explain that. I mean,
I myself didn't like Giuliani in the beginning because of some of his policies like quality of life. But the whole thing is that New York needed a person who could set order and structure for the city. And the whole thing is we started to see the results of his initiatives early on. We started to see the Pookies and the Ray Rays being dealt with. We started to see the streets getting safer. We started to see a lot of the drugs getting cleaned up. We started to see a lot of the neighborhoods starting to be places where kids could go out and play. I remember in the 2000s, I mean, I could see kids going out and playing on the street and feeling safe. You couldn't do that in the late 80s or the early 90s because the drug dealers practically had everybody scared out to the point where they couldn't even think about going out anymore. And Giuliani, people didn't like him in the beginning, but he did have a vision for where he wanted to take the city as related to crime. And he had a direction for where he wanted to get the investment to come in so that you could be able to have a better quality of life overall. So when I look at people, I didn't like him in the beginning, but when I started to see the fruits of his results, I just had to go along with it. And then when I compare him to other mayors like your Bloomberg and definitely your Bill de Blasio, who was just a complete idiot and an imbecile, I can just say that he was one of the best mayors New York City ever had.
Well, I will say this about that. I understand what you're saying, and I think that because what you've been seeing there, I think that it's kind of orchestrated with this so-called smash and grab, because they are like people coming up with U-Hauls and people running in just taking stuff. But I will say that a lot of things have been done, a lot of things not reported and stuff like that. So I will say that you are absolutely correct. Yeah, I do. I appreciate you coming back on, and I do think that we're gonna see how the month progresses. I'm probably gonna get y'all back on another time this month.
All right.
Hopefully for the end, because I know 2022 we're gonna be like some firecrackers. I'm gonna see some stuff popping out of here. Hey, I might be seeing some bodies laying down. I don't know yet. Let me watch out. Because what I see happening in Greece, what I see happening in Australia, man, I've seen people get knocked down, man. People fighting. Hey, watch it. Because I dang gonna know. Hey, look, you got certain areas up there in New York where you can get down and dirty. So in California too. So watch out. Hey, look. Because I like to, hey, look, you know, sometimes, Shawn, you like to see a good, you know, sometimes you like to watch a good action movie, right?
Yeah.
You was talking about Giuliani. He didn't like it in the beginning. But you like to see a good action movie. sometime, don't you, Shawn?
Yeah.
Only time this ain't gonna be a movie, this gonna be the real thing.
Yeah, that's sadly what's happening here in New York right now.
This is the real thing. This could be like, earlier this year they had a movie called The Forever Purge, right?
Yeah.
Hey, could be the real deal now. Because why they put this movie out on around July 4th this year? The Forever Purge. Remember that? And they show you the script all the time. What they gonna do? It was a movie called I think Soviet Green or something, would talk about the dystopian society and all that. So it's very interesting how, okay. And then I forgot one more thing I forgot to mention. A couple weeks ago, New York also got a drug-free zone now, I think, where you can go shoot your drugs up as long as you're not in the public, but you can go to meth clinics and stuff like that. Something like that. This is some wacko policy de Blasio and them instituted. Like what?
These are
Damn, you told me to say no to drugs, but now you want me to take. What's this about? But nevertheless, that's how it goes. So yes, they are locking up folks in Greece and Australia if you don't take the jab. But they're trying to implement that in New York. That's why I said about the governor. She declared you a threat. And that new lieutenant governor, she is a wacko. That woman is wacko.
Well, the lady that said they called people her disciples.
Yeah, she said that Jesus. She said that we've got a jab from heaven. I'm like, oh God. But hey, that's how they play on religious folks. But it is what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, don't remember churches got $7.3 billion of money during the pandemic. So hey, it's all a game.
Yep.
Some of them got people belong too.
J-Bag, this is their version of Amsterdam. Sure, the Wild was based off former Baltimore Mayor Kurt Smoke proposed for drug users in the city. I have to look that up. That might be interesting. But but that's okay. Yeah, that's all. It's been very interesting tonight. I surely do hope that things get better, but it only get worse, but it get better, they say. But hey, it's about to go down like fireworks. And you know what, man? I hate to say this, man, to you, man, Darius, but I was talking to somebody about this inoculation thing, and I said, y'all say y'all had all. I mean, I'm not telling you. I mean, I'm hypocrites, but you had all this faith back in the day, but you're right. We must not be worshiping the same God, because I know these devils don't worship the same God. But it all depends on what you view God is. Do you view God as yourself, as somebody with force and power, or do you view some floating angel in the sky? They creating the heaven on earth while they creating the hell for you. So that's how I look at that. It's a sad reality, but that's the way it is. Eric disappointed a black lesbian in New York. Ouch. Well, I already know where that's going, Shawn.
We know what that is.
Well,
Biden 4.0, Obama 3.0.
Well, hey, yes, her God is Satan. Thank you very much. But go ahead, Shawn, drop your information, brother.
All right. I have 4 SJS Direct 2021 books out right now. John Haynes Taking Care of Business, ISIS Revenge of the Cyber Goddess, E-Steam Council Vacation, and Stop Simping in Cyberspace. And you can get all those books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. And you can get many of my other books on Amazon as well. I have over 75 titles. And if you also want to check out my content on YouTube, you can find it on the Shawn James channel. You can also find me on Facebook and Twitter as well.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead, Frank.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what I'm saying? You can find me on Frank XX Frank Nitty XX for YouTube. My Facebook is Frank Nevermind Jones. The Instagram is Frank Jones 8115, and then the Cash App is $ Frank Jones, and then with JONZ, and then with a 1 at the end. Appreciate it, y'all.
Yeah, and
appreciate it again, King BJ. Appreciate it.
I did forget to mention one thing. I probably have to do more of a show on this about what is it, Kanye West and Drake doing a thing on Larry Hoover. But I'll talk about that another time. But you can give me King BJ Johnson YouTube and let me see some other things being the work. Bernard Johnson Facebook, and you can also get me at kingbjmedia.com, kingbjfitness.com, and more. I would say stock up on nutrients, the things that Shawn was talking about, which I actually could have said earlier. Vitamin D3 and all that, zinc, elderberry. Stock up on everything you can right now. Because they keep on talking about a winter surge, but then they actually tell you that it's the inoculated that's got the surge. It's not you. I mean, but that's what they're going to keep telling you. That's the message they're pushing right now. So I would say just boost your immune system as much as you can and take the necessary precautions with people because something could go down at any minute and you have to be prepared. Just like that incident that happened on the plane last week. And I remember mentioning that one incident. I forgot to mention that, Shawn. That's one thing I got to say. They mentioned they had 5,000 some instances on planes this year, but over 3,900 were mask related, right?
Yeah.
Well, Shawn, there are thousands of flights that fly a day, right? Once again, with the leftist, Shawn, you probably have 1% of a case that happened. And they make a big deal out of it to make it look like everybody's getting fought on an airplane. That's not the case.
We have hundreds
and
of
it may not
thousands
be
of flights
about
a
the
day.
mask all the time. That's just what the agenda they're trying to push. But I do think
narrative.
they are trying to pass along these airplanes as well. Ghana just told you today that they're unjabbed will have to they will fine airlines $3,500 if they test positive. So you got to understand, it's a global thing. It's not just here, but it is what it is. I'm just reporting the facts. And hey, YouTube, hey, we already saw what you can do on January 6th, or you want to do. But let me just report the facts. I'm sure y'all mad at me for reporting them, but it is what it is. You can be mad at Shawn or Frank, anybody, but hey, screw you. And that's why we call you ScrewTube anyway, or better yet, YouTube. But nevertheless, y'all guys have a good night.
All right, you have a good night too.
All right, man. Thanks for having me on, man. All right, Shawn.
Gotcha.